Such anguish. Oh, the humanity. It's
Oh
like
God,
it's
that's
just an
gross.
empty parking lot because there's this picture here next to they like rolled out a fake, like you can see it here.
And there's actually police standing there. Like, what's? I don't get it. What?
She did all this to make Trump look bad. But the point is, like, now when the border crisis is 15 times, what it was a year ago, and worse than it's been in almost 2 decades, she's nowhere to be seen. So there's an
Now
example
and
for
now
this
and now they're
employer.
talking about wanting to fill the gaps in the wall, which is
Yeah.
great, which is so ironic. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. You old man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's fill
Come
those
on,
gaps in
man.
the wall, man.
It's
We can do
malarkey.
it.
Our border czar. Here's an article by the New York Post. Biden border czar Roberta Jacobson stepping down amid migrant crisis. This won't have sound, but some footage here of
Roberta Jacobson, by the way, is
yeah.
a former Mexican ambassador. So
Oh, well, that makes sense.
like which is interesting because she's Jewish and she has no Latin blood in her whatsoever, which of course isn't a prerequisite for being an ambassador. But come on, man, like what the heck does she know about the southern border? Is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
why why Biden keeps picking these like lunatics to run massive departments in our government, in our federal government, designed to like protect the American people. It's like he's purposely trying to hurt us, man. It's crazy. He chose Mayorkas from California to run the Department of Homeland Security when California has the worst, like one of the worst rates in crime in the entire United States and insecurity. And then this guy pulls him out of left field, man. Biden is such a man. I feel like he's Bush, dude. He's just Democrat Bush, man.
Uh,
Stupid and dumb and old.
yeah, but in some ways worse because at
Look at
least
that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Pull that back, man.
yeah, we're talking about terrible people Biden brings on. That was an accident, but this is relevant to what you just said. This is the new ATF director.
Hey,
Him.
was he in the Israeli Defense Forces? I wouldn't be surprised.
I haven't looked. This is the furthest I've gone in terms of his history. He was
This piece of shit. Look how fucking gross and disgusting it is.
yeah,
And now he's gonna be like paid hundred thousands of dollars
to
to
hunt
work
people.
for to oh my god, dude, that is so fucking gross, man.
Yeah, here's a thing just to call it about him. This is a M14 with like a sniper rifle scope on it. So during, I guess, Waco, which for those of you who don't know, who may be too young to know, the United States basically, burnt down a neighborhood to stop people from protecting themselves with weapons, and troops were sent in, including this fucker.
No, it
And
wasn't a neighborhood, man. It was just it was a compound full of families,
right.
people,
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah, a
like a
compound
like
full
a
of families.
complex, like an apartment complex kind of thing.
Yeah,
But it was
okay.
like a big. It was on one property, and it was all like people there that didn't want anything to do with the government. Don't tread on me.
Mm-hmm.
And the government's like, nope, nope, we got to go in there and confiscate your guns. You guys got too many. You got too much water saved. You got too much food saved. You can nope, sorry, you can't be doing this kind of stuff here in the United States. And then they literally lit them up, man.
Mm-hmm.
They brought
And
in tanks. They brought in
mhm.
flamethrowers. They
Helicopters.
fucking crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I ever really. And Janet Reno was involved with that, by the
Mm-hmm.
way,
Mm-hmm.
under Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
That was all under Clinton too. Madeleine Albright, she was the Secretary of State. She said she would have done it again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, bro, these Democrats, man.
Right.
Madeleine Albright. By the
Mm-hmm.
way, do you know where she's from? Take a
Mm-mm.
fucking guess, dude. Take a guess, dude. Take a guess, bro. It's
Israel.
so flagrant. It's in our faces, and no one says anything. And
Israel.
I was talking about this to that non-political friend I was telling you about, and like he's like, oh no, yeah, I can already tell he was getting uncomfortable when I started talking about it, dude. You know what I'm talking about already, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, exactly. That's the point. He's like, exactly. No, he's like, I know. I already know what you're talking about, but I don't talk about it. Like, he's like, I don't want to talk about that. I'm like, that's the point. No one wants to talk about it. How the heck? 12 steps, man. The first step is admitting you have a problem, right? The United States has we have a problem, dude. We are infested, bro. Like, we are infested. We need to get a pest control guy to come in the United States and spray for these roaches, dude.
Yeah. So back to this guy. His name's David Chipman. He's Biden's newly nominated or elected guy to run the ATF, which will be responsible for solving America's gun problem, which doesn't exist in my opinion. But yeah, this is a corpse. He's just standing over it proud, and he has a sniper rifle, a marksman rifle he's using to shoot at people, a United States
He
citizen.
looks really, really wicked, man.
Yeah.
Like, not back then, now. He looks really, really wicked. His face, like some of the facial expressions. I'm sorry, like, you can tell a lot by a person by how they look, dude. I'm sorry. I know that's difficult to hear for a lot of people out there, but
right.
Truth, man. You, like, a woman knows that they're gonna sleep with you within the first 5 seconds of meeting you. Period.
That's true.
Boom.
That's true.
Everyone knows that. That's a common like,
that's why you dress nice, and that's why you make a good impression. That's why you work on your moves.
Similar to court. You go to court dressed up nicely with a suit and a tie. What do you think the judge is gonna consider you? Respectable, as opposed to you going with a hoodie on and baggy pants and your shirt like wide open and like your beard like you've been growing out like me for like 6 months. No, man. But at least I have it clean. No, but see, that's my point. Like, it's all about perception, dude. And I don't know, dude. It's really easy to see that this guy has some serious fucking issues, man.
Right. So that's Shipman. It's a good example of Biden not caring about the perceptions of the people in his administration. Just to shift back to Roberta Jacobson, as you were saying earlier, really is not even from south of the border and does not have much experience. And look at her, like, she looks like she doesn't know what's going on. She has this dumbfounded deer in the headlights look.
No, dude, like all this jackass Biden is doing is filling all of his cabinet seats and administration seats with people that he owes favors to. That's a fact. Why would he choose half of these people to lead these spots where, like, for example, look at Kamala Harris. He asked her to lead the border crisis.
And they're just like, I'm not going there today.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, pick somebody else. I'm only doing diplomacy, she said.
Right. Yeah. I'm just
calling Mexico from my office.
Right.
I'm just calling the Mexican president from my office. I don't know what you were thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. What do you think this is? White privilege or something? Asking a black woman to do stuff for you? You know that? I swear to God, dude, that stupid ass bitch, man. And then her colleague AOC just today. Did you hear about this?
No, what happened?
She had somebody here in Southern California investigated by the CHP and harassed at his home.
You told me
because of a Twitter post. That he was disagreeing with it. There wasn't even any bad words in there, dude. Crazy, man. These freaking lunatics, they actually think that, like, the American people are gonna put up with this shit, dude.
But the thing is, Biden's had what 60 executive orders so far, one of which infringing on the First Amendment, another of which infringing on the Second Amendment. It's like you said before, the boiling frog. They're just pushing it further and further, and the American people so far. Like during the last year of Trump in 2020, during a pandemic, there was endless riots and fires over. That was obviously astroturfed to some extent, and and cities all across the nation were on fire because people on the left generally know how to get out and get their voice heard, or at least know how to be organized in that
No,
manner,
it's
at
not
least
that. No,
be
no, 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 no,
manipulated
no,
into
no.
doing
It's
it.
not that. No, it's not that. They've got the unions, they've got all the organizational structures behind
Yeah,
the groups that organize. Not to mention the fact that they've got the U.S. Postal Service behind them. They've got the teachers behind them. They've got
the
the,
unions.
the
Yeah.
thing is, the thing is, the conservative side has the police behind them, the military behind them. So like, it's a really like easy duality to see. Very simple, man. Like, and then now you're starting to see a lot more union guys pissed off at their own unions because they're going Democrat, even though they're more now conservatives. There's a lot of articles recently coming out uh, that that show like the majority of Democrat union workers are now shifting to Republican workers. Like because the Republican Party is the party of the people, the party of the working class, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Yeah, yeah. It's a weird shift happening. Not only are the union workers shifting, but politically, conservatives in the 90s were the ones saying, video games are gonna cause violence, and now Democrats are the ones saying that. And in the latter half of the 20th century, Democrats were anti-war. Now they're pro-authoritarian. It's super weird.
right, right. Well, it's not really that complicated to understand. They just want power, basically. Just want power,
Yeah.
man.
Well, yeah, I mean, AOC is a good example of wanting power. Like you mentioned her earlier. She's in 2018 standing at a chain link fence in a parking lot pretending to be at the border. And then when her
Really?
yeah, actually, I'll look for these
Oh, I
photos.
didn't hear about this. That's crazy, bro. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, so yeah, she's pretending to be at the border and doing crying and everything, but there's like no one around her. And
So that was basically the first time she manipulated news. Because
hmm
didn't she do that with the January 6th Capitol attack? That where she was saying she was like
yeah,
in
she's saying
danger in her office, and then they ended up finding out later on that she was actually like a couple miles away.
right, right. So here's the
Idiot.
pictures all over Google. Her pretending to cry with like one maybe fake border agent. And there's all these photos all over the internet of just her. Like, this one's my favorite. Like, oh, I'm crying. um Such pain, such anguish, oh, the humanity. It's
Oh
like
God,
it's
that's
just an
gross.
empty parking lot, because there's this picture here next to they like rolled out a fake, like you can see it here.
And there's actually police standing there. Like, what's? I don't get it. What?
Yeah, well,
What?
this is just the parking lot, and this is a chain link fence they rolled out. She did all this to make Trump look bad. And then now
Nah,
when
man.
the
Nah, man. There's cops on that side, so obviously they're guarding something. There, I see cop cars in the background.
well, you've already established this, like in the last thing on what AOC did is,
No, yeah, I did,
yeah, she
but
she
but
probably
like,
called the CHP like, hey, or not, probably not in California, some sort of officer like, hey, can you just stand here in the street for me? I'll pay you, or whatever could have happened. But the point is, like, now when the border crisis is 15 times, what it was a year ago, and worse than it's been in almost 2 decades, she's nowhere to be seen. So there's an
Now
example
and
of
now
those.
and now they're talking about wanting to fill the gaps in the wall, which is
Yeah.
great, which is so ironic. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. You old man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's fill
Come
those
on,
gaps in
man.
the wall, man.
It's
We can do
malarkey.
it. Oh, I was just talking fluff back a year ago when I was trying to get your vote.
Yeah. And well, and he also said he wants to bring back the turn away policy. And now his administration's actually paying South American countries to try and keep their immigrants from going up north.
So what, we're going to be paying their welfare?
Well, we're already doing that. It's like we're saying we'll pay you to not come now.
That's what I'm saying, but we'll be paying their welfare in their country.
Right. Yeah. So you don't even have to come here anymore. It's our tax dollars.
Whoa, that's interesting.
That's how desperate
I didn't think about that. That's actually that's very interesting. The thing is, obviously, that's not the right way to go. I would just say build like 4 walls. I'm serious.
Trump had the right idea. Build the wall, turn away policy.
Not one wall. I'm not talking
just
about
at least get a wall
wall
across the border. That's a good start.
No, punch through the bag. Remember this. Punch through the bag.
Yeah.
2 walls.
Right.
No, 3 walls. We go through 3 walls. At least we get 2 walls. But 3 walls, dude. You get 3 walls. Space in between each one. A couple landmines. Some guard dogs. All the pit bulls of Los Angeles County that they confiscated and they put down. They could just put them in there.
In between the walls, just have them eat coyotes for their diet.
Okay.
Not the animal, the people.
Kind of random, but those coyotes.
Those coyotes, yeah.
Nice. How many millions of Americans are homeless, dude? And they're getting walked. They're literally getting like walked over, like stepped over for these immigrants coming over the border. Mind you, I get it. The kids need help, man. I'm not going to say no to a kid, but
why kid is like 5%.
Hold on, this is very important.
I'm just pointing out, kid is a low minority of immigrants coming across.
I know that's true, but I was talking about this to my friend who's Mexican. He's very Mexican, by the way, dude. Goes to paisa parties every weekend. In fact, Mexican. When I brought this up to him, he's like, "Yo, can you just tell me for a reason why, or what kind of parents would be sending these kids by themselves all those miles away?" I'm like, thank you, dude. That's what we're saying. What the, that doesn't make any sense. How on earth are all these parents? And you know what? A lot have, not a lot. What I just discovered, and we should put all of these things up, man. I just discovered that they're actually renting children in Central and South America to come here. And when they get here using this child, they send them back. And then they do it again. They're literally using these kids to come into the United States so that they can get in. I literally just heard about this yesterday. Yesterday, bro.
Yeah.
Renting children.
Right. Renting
migrant children to get here. Just Google that, man. Google it and screen share it for me, man. Because I'll do it right now.
Go ahead. Because you reminded me of this clip I came across yesterday of this kid who was like left in the middle of the desert that the Border Patrol agents ran across. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about the other day. Remember?
Yeah,
but that was all a setup, dude. You could tell just by looking at the video. You could tell like he was, bro, like he was either either a part of those children that I just said that are being rented to get here.
Right.
You know, because of the way that they explained, the way that Border Patrol agent was talking to that child, and that child couldn't answer whether his parents, like, he's like, what? He didn't know how to answer. Like, are your mom and your dad with you? He's like, what?
Right.
That right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. And look at that. It's not censored. Good. Little fucking liar. Watch when he gets older, we're going to find out that he was coming back and forth like 10 times. And he's 10, dude. They were saying he was 8. These people are liars, bro.
Yeah, well, what's funny about this clip is it's all over Good Morning America and all over the news, and it's like, isn't it terrible that these kids are just being left at the border? And it's like, yeah, it's terrible. Why are we putting up with kids being left at the border, regardless of you wanting to?
It wasn't okay. Homan,
Yeah.
the former acting chief of the border patrol, he came out saying just yesterday that, and it was a great clip, by the way, man, and I saved it and I'll post it up. He said, yes, it's bad that children are coming here. Technical difficulties. All right. So he said that yeah, it's bad that children are coming here. And it's horrible because he's like, I've seen many dead children. I've had to help many hurt children in the desert. And he said this, he said, but how many were dead or hurt or tortured under Trump? And how many are being killed and tortured and used under Biden? That was like, whoa, bro. That was a genius way to put it. Because under Trump, they weren't coming here. So how many children were in the desert? Maybe a few, maybe quite a few, but nothing compared to what they're finding now. Just in ratio alone.
15 times the amount.
Just in ratio alone.
Yeah.
One thing my dad always taught me as a child, or as a kid, as a young boy, if you want to get a girlfriend, or if you want to get a girlfriend or a girl's phone number, ask as many girls as you possibly can, because just the number, the law of numbers, the game of numbers is going to one of them is going to say yes.
It's the same thing, play the odds.
Yeah.
The largest ratio, more that come, the more the kids there are.
Yeah. Yeah. And under Trump, let's say that there was 500 a day coming in total. And out of that 500, of the percentages being around 20 to 30%, let's say, and that's a very generous figure for children. Yeah. Let's say 20% of 500 is what is that, like 20, like 25? No, like 50.
50, yeah.
Like 50. So
50 is 10%, so it's like 100. Or 100 would be like 30% or 25%.
It's like, let's say 75.
Sure.
Say 75. Okay. 75 kids under Trump. Under Biden, let's times that by 15. 75 times 15, bro.
Doing calculator now.
That's like almost 2,000.
Yeah.
Per month.
1125. And that, I heard it was per day. So there's thousands of kids.
No. Yeah.
Per dead.
Yeah, that's right. That was per day.
So 1,000 kids a day in the desert.
So look at the math that I just did. Yeah. The math that I just did is really close to actually what they're finding.
So,
because they're not, the numbers that they're coming up with are not just the numbers of the people that they found. They're also including the numbers that they didn't find. The numbers that they didn't find exceed 100,000 a day. 100,000 a day, dude.
Well,
they didn't find.
Yeah, because honestly,
they're flowing here. There was like a thing on PBS. They were interviewing. On NBC. They were interviewing migrants that were coming here on their way here. They were all saying they were coming here because of Biden. Because Biden told them to. Because Biden's giving them time to get there.
And the money.
Dude, they're getting paid like $3,000 each now, dude. From the
coyotes. Yeah,
no. I'm talking about the stimulus, dude.
The stimulus. Yeah,
they're going to be giving them stimulus checks, dude. And in New York, oh, bro, I don't know how New Yorkers put up with it, man.
Oh yeah, they're on top of the federal. New York State is giving them state funding.
The other thing is too, I don't understand why San Diego, being such a conservative city, is putting up with 100-something thousand migrants at their convention center in downtown. I think
they have someone on the left, I think, currently in power in San Diego. I forget, something happened something happened with the elections this last time. Regardless, it's not just San Diego; it's all over the country and convention centers. Even in Dallas, they're using the conventions because where else are these people going to go? In some cities, they're in parking lots and tents, just like the homeless. So, I just take a moment to play a little bit of devil's advocate. Like the question was raised, why would a parent send their child up up across hundreds of miles of barren desert with a stranger? And I imagine there's probably extortion involved. Children are worth money at the border. Or these coyotes are really convincing, like, oh, it's good for your child's future or whatever. Yeah, it's a mess down there. Most South American countries are in not good shape at all. So I imagine there is some crime involved down there, which, by the
Look,
way,
I'll be honest
yeah,
with you, brother. I could care freaking less if they've got a bad situation down there. We've got a bad situation up here that we've got to deal with. I don't give a shit what other countries are dealing with. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. My dad's Italian. My dad's
yeah.
Italian. My mom's Chilean. I could care fucking less what's going on in Italy or Chile. I
Well,
could care less. I want what's happening here in the United States to get fixed, man.
yeah,
You know?
that's awesome. I'm just pointing out the solution.
No, I'm just venting, bro. I'm not. Come on, man. I'm not attacking you.
Well, I know, I know you're not. I just need to clarify my
Up
position.
64%.
Fuck,
Wow,
dude.
not
Yeah.
15%.
Unaccompanied minors. That's a child without a parent ending up at the border, somehow making it through those hundreds of miles of desert.
Well, with a bunch of other people, man. Those
Strangers.
64%, that in that number includes rented children
Right.
that we're not
Unaccompanied.
talking about. In that number also includes 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-old men posing as children. It's very simple. There's a large demographic of people that are in that 64% that they're not talking about. They're not even talking about it. They don't want to talk about it. It's too truthful for them.
Yeah, yeah. So, what I was saying earlier is the solution.
Numbers on unaccompanied children from Homeland Security.
Oh, hang tight.
According to
Wait
that
for this
data,
clip.
747 unaccompanied children were apprehended by Customs and Border Protection just yesterday.
Oh God.
Children in CBP custody right now. More than 16,000 children are in the care of Health and Human Services.
That's one facility.
San Diego. Yeah, the
That's
convention center.
one fucking facility.
Yeah.
750 unaccompanied minors. What the hell?
And it's gonna just keep going to go up, man. It's just gonna keep going up. And the San Diego the citizens of San Diego,
Yeah,
are paying for all of it, dude.
yeah, and the United States too, because there's federal and state stuff happening with these. But just to get past this point, because I need to clarify, the whole reason I was talking earlier about what's happening in those countries are terrible situations. What like Reagan and Bush were doing about it was they were trying to fight the drugs that were coming into our country by sending CIA and DHS down there. I don't agree with military intervention in leadership for other countries, but if there are, you know, like during the crisis in the 1980s with Miami, there were hundreds of people. There were 600 people murdered in 5 years in Miami by the cartels.
God.
Yeah, so in one city, if that's happening, United States, obviously that's an invasion. We have to do something about it. We did something about it, and thanks to years of the United States doing something about it, we solved the problem for the most part. And now, since we have a person in power who's inviting this, now we're inviting an invasion of unaccompanied minors at the border, an invasion of who knows what coming across the border, which could be drugs, human trafficking. It happens too. It's just stuff the media, especially the national media, is not even talking about because it doesn't make the current commander in chief look very good.
Dude, you know that you actually confirmed it. Yeah, Democrat mayor of San Diego. No wonder. No wonder, dude. That piece of shit is actually the Democrat. Oh wow, man. It's San Diego used to be conservative owned, man. It's conservative leaning.
Mm-hmm.
My whole family lives down there. That sucks.
Yeah.
They're paying. That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that's costing the taxpayers, bro. Like, wow, 750 migrants.
A day. No, that's unaccompanied minors. 750 unaccompanied minors a day was like 2,500 or whatever migrants a day. In
Wait, what?
one city.
Say that again.
The number was 750 unaccompanied minors. In one day in San Diego, in one city.
Right, unaccompanied minors. And for a whole weekend, it was 1,450.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what it says here. Unaccompanied minors. Those are the same thing as UACs.
That is what the acronym would spell.
Unaccompanied minors, unaccompanied UACs.
Unaccompanied children. Sorry.
No, it's UAC stands for unaccompanied
Child?
child. I don't remember. It was something. It kind of confused me when I heard it. I was like, wait, dude, that's nothing like what I thought it sounded like.
Hmm.
It's something else. It's
Oh.
UAC. I don't know. Dang, man. Unaccompanied alien children. There you go. That's what they're called.
Oh, unaccompanied alien
UAC is
children.
unaccompanied alien children. That's why I was like, whoa, I didn't think it was that. Like, you know,
I thought unaccompanied was 2 words.
I thought UA was unaccompanied. Yeah, I know. You're like all laughing over there. I mean, like, that's what it's
I'm laughing myself too. I didn't know. It's weird that they use the word alien. They hate that word, but they're using it.
In the kitchen.
What was your word for they take the money they make here and send it back to this country they're from?
Those are called remittances when they make
Remittances.
money here and then they send back to their own former country. And so like it's really astute to notice how many of those people that send remittances back are actually sending them back not just to their family members in other households, but family members in their own households that they still own in Mexico while they're living here.
Yeah, and how much of their the economy of theirs did that make up?
A lot. Oh, it's the majority. And then
Yeah.
and then the number one, and then number two is oil.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that one? Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah, something you brought up with your mom, which is important to establish, is these people who are crossing the border without legality are jumping over people who've been waiting in line for years for some sort of a legal process to become a U.S. citizen in terms of economic support from the United States. And also, you mentioned earlier about, it's not just Mexico, but also we have, 500 or so countries all over the world, a lot of which want to come to the United States. And it's not just people from the southern border trying to escape whatever hardships they're trying to escape from to come to the United States. And they also have to compete with people who are coming up from the southern border. Like, things are hard in Mexico, things are hard in Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, but things are also hard in, North Korea. Things are also hard in China. Things are also hard in Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia. We shouldn't have this double standard for countries. Obviously, Mexico is the closest country to us with those type of issues. So if we do have a cap on people, they might have the highest number of people allowed in. But this whole like trying to help the world mentality, the Democrats tend to present as like we are the beacon of hope. kind of goes away if we choose one set of people over everybody else.
Yeah. Well, but that's kind of their shtick right now, is division and picking one over the other. And I'm finding a lot of like, what's the word? Contradictions
Hmm.
in a lot of this stuff. Obviously, that's obvious. Like a lot of people see contradictions happening right now, but I'm seeing contradictions in the sense that in the cancel culture, if you cancel one, you're gonna have to cancel everyone. It's similar to that analogy. What's how do I put this analogy? There is no best with no worst. You know, there is no good without an evil, basically, you know, like,
Right.
so without saying, like, by saying you have to cancel this person over here for I don't know, wearing a MAGA hat, then that means you have to cancel this person over here for wearing a Black Lives Matter hat. So if you cancel one, then you have to cancel the other. And so
Otherwise, you have a double standard.
that was a bad example. There was other ones where, like, see, in that regard, they just won't do it. They won't cancel one, and then they'll only cancel the other because of the double standard.
Yeah,
But then there's other situations where, like, when you cancel one, it inherently forces you and society and the populace to cancel this other group that's not the same as this one that you're trying to cancel, but goes hand in hand, kind of thing. I don't know if I'm making myself
right. So like Pepe Le Pew got canceled from Space Jam. His scenes were cut because he was too handsy.
Thank you. That's a great example. That's a great example, because then if that's the case, then you've got to cancel. You got to cancel all the reruns of that 70s show, Married to Children, Beavis and Butthead, Simpsons. Simpsons would be canceled.
Right.
Family Guy would be canceled. Dave Chappelle show would be taken completely off of all syndicates. I mean, come on, man.
Well,
that's a great example, because that's, you know.
Joe Biden, just saying, Joe Biden's been pretty handsy with people.